Hello, my name is Peter Pilgrim. Welcome to day 4, your Java Tech Coach. So in this lecture today, and I covered solution architecture in the previous days, we're looking at a Project Inception. Most important is people over processes, over tools. I'll say it again faster. People over processes, over tools. Let's go. People, what do they need? You built a new software. You're in a greenfield development. There's no bloody mainframe around to consider. You're not wrapping an API around a mainframe, are you? Hope not. But anyway, that doesn't matter because you need a good team. You need to find decent human beings who have that psychological safety, which you must define, and you must build trust. You've got to gel teams. Think of a football team. Think of a rugby team, any team, sporting team. It doesn't function unless you have a good cultural values. You avoid toxicity, bullying, coercion, and one-upmanship or one-woman-upmanship or whatever it is. You need communications and honesty, which is a good policy. It actually rhymes. Okay, processes, very quickly. I hope you are in post-agile development. Most people have lost out on that horrible world. Well, it was a good world of the waterfall. It's the only world that we knew of. So agile, feedback loop, checking on how we're doing, getting velocity, story points, and all that good jazz, not jive, so that we can have good metrics and see how we're doing. If we're falling behind in the sprint with our stories, and again, a good team believes in themselves. They see other people who are struggling and will help the other people come up to speed. When you don't have that good, generous spirit and they see world events, a good team, in my opinion, when they are locked in, it becomes them versus us, them versus the outside world. They want to succeed. They pat each other on the back and support the other team members when somebody's feeling down or under pressure. And think about it like this. You are a random vector trying to get to a destination. Remember I talked about product marketing and it needs to be more involved in the actual development process. Well, this is that. How did Steve Jobs actually build or show his vision for the iPhone? Because he got people to believe in his initial idea. And we don't know when that inception point is. My guess it would have been 2004, 2003. He grabbed everybody together in a room at Apple and said, we're going to build the next greatest thing that the world has not seen before. And he did it. Congratulations to him. And it is that sort of random vector thinking or pulling in all directions that gets us onto the point of tool. What tools do we need? It's the easiest thing to do. Software development kit, Java development kit, it could be Python, it could be .NET, it could be anything you want, TypeScript, but you have to decide up front. It could be something very thoughtful like Kotlin or even Scala, but once you've decided it, that's where you've got to go with it. And then you've got to think about how can you hire extra developers and that sort of thing. Now, cloud infrastructure, that's the main point. And then you've got the tools to build your software. Hopefully you're doing test-driven development and testing your software. And then you've got user experience, UI testing. And think of the people that you are building for, especially with that product marketing mindset. You need to build it so it supports not just the youngest in our world, but our elderlies who are going to be a little bit frightened about how to use computers and phones, and maybe their eyesight and their hearing isn't quite there. So you need to consider accessibility. So that's the good stuff. You also need to deal with the horrible stuff. which is security, DevOps, making sure that because we're so dependent on open source technology, that we have a OWASP framework to look at those dependencies, and so we can chase them. And DevOps is so crucial now. You've got to have observability of your performance and how much your server is costing the organization, whether you have databases that are unused. You've got to have that sort of visibility of all the systems in your estate and enterprise, not just for sustainability. I could go on about that. There's more than just green. There's actually brown. There's actually yellow for desert and blue for water. So people think green and that's it. But there's like 3 other ones, and it's all about environmentalism and sustainability. So that's a lot for Project Inception. It will overwhelm you, but it is necessary to get the belief. Another tip, that when I talk to young people, they want to know, when will I get paid? It's so important. And imagine going to a university and you set up a trestle table and you try and invite people from that university to come and join your company. And what you tell them, well, you won't get a bonus until 2035, or the project is going to take 10 years. Well, that might be all right if it's a defense project, but if it's a commercial project, I can tell you young people want to be paid right now. Of course, that's not possible. So what is the compromise there? And that's where you have your Project Inception. You've got to excite them by where you're going. And if you think about people, first of all, and how it will affect them, then, and have a story to tell of how it's going to improve the world, then you're going to get buy-in. And that other another company down the road is going to lose out. You've got the best developers and the best people because they believe in your story. So that's a hot tip. I bid you adieu. My name is Peter Pilgrim, Java Tech Coach. This has been day 4. Ciao.